Hi, beautiful, beautiful people. How you guys doing today? Yo, girls, we are back. FGI Cash Talk Lady. We are back with another beautiful topic. Topic today, parenting style then and now. Today's gonna be very beautiful. It's gonna be another a mind blowing topic. Topic that you sit on the couch and you talk about with your girls, family. So we ask that get a pen and a paper because today's gonna be very hot. We are going to bring the E for energy. So prepare yourself for a beautiful time. At this time, ladies, starting with Sister Billa. Sis, how you been for the past 2 weeks? How you been for the past 2 weeks?
Hello, everyone. My name is Abiola Dina. Like you all know, I'm E for energy. I bring in all the energy. So, I've been great. I've been good. It's been beautiful, and all the things we've been discussing, I've been putting them to use. And actually, I've been looking forward to coming back so we can have more discussion. It's been a beautiful week for me. Very fulfilling, both home and work. Yeah, very fulfilling. Thank you.
All right, we got a Sister Tower. How have you been for the past 2 weeks, sis? How you been?
Um, Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us again. It's been a wonderful week, past 2 weeks. Yes. Um, just learning new things, unlearning things, and trying to reshape and remodel my thinking. So it's been very beautiful week, past 2 weeks, and I'm excited that I'm here again.
That's good, Sister Baby. How you been for the past 2 weeks? How things been? How the kiddos? How's the family? How you been, girl? We want to know how you been.
I've been here working hard, doing all I have to do, showing up every day on my job as a wife, as a mom, as a sister. I've been showing up every day and growing. Yeah, taking it a day at a time, loving up on God and humanity. Yeah, everything has been going good. Thank you for asking. And I look forward to today.
Yes, thank you guys so much. So this is your ladies. I am Louisa, your hostess. The past 2 weeks been it's really been great for me. Unfortunately, we experienced a death that really shocked me. My I call him my helping hand. When you start a ministry, God sent strategic people to be that pillar, to be that support system. um he was one of that support system for me, whenever I needed, be it the light, be it plugging, unplugging, and installing. All I had to say the word was time, 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 time. He was there to do it. So this last Sunday, he passed away. So my week has been very tough one to cope with it. Even as a pastor, coping with the death has been really tough for me. Accepting his death has been really tough for me. I feel like in a way that I have lost a father, lost somebody really, really dear to me. So it been a tough couple of days, but we give God the praise. We know that we have faith and we know that where he is, he's with the Father. So it been good. It been good. It been good. Everything has been good. We praise God for that. So today, with no further delay, we are going to jump straight into our topic for today. Parenting style. Parenting style is thing that a lot of us when we don't think about when we dating. We don't think about coming up, But once you get married, I know we talked about being married the last 2 weeks. We close out on being married. Once you come together, you find that man that you love, and you guys starting to build a family. You start to think about this thing. How are we gonna raise our children? How do we want these children to become? What's the vision that we have for our children? Then parenting style come into place. You begin to discuss, do we want to raise our children the way that we were raised? Do we want to raise our children with the new millennial style. Parenting style is something that we all think about when we start to have children. So today we are going to dive into that, talking about the two parenting style then and now. I'm going to turn the floor over to Sister Pira, and I'm going to ask this question, sis. Which parenting style did you choose or did you adapt when you started to raise your children, when you started to have children? Which style did you adapt?
Wow, thank you for the question. So, let me just amaze everyone right here. When I was going to get married, I already had started to think of how I want my family to be. It's funny though, I was pretty young, but I already have, you know, an idea of what I want my family, my children, the home front to be. So, the parenting style I adopt is a traditional one, but
Mm,
with a twist though. I said with a twist. I come with all the energy and all that. So I already have so much to give. And I love the traditional one because it gives you, even studies says children who grow up under the old, as in um the traditional parenting style, they have a very high percentage of being extra, very intelligent in their studies. I mean, Wikipedia, says that. Also, I adopted the old-fashioned one, the traditional way. Why? Because
mm,
so I adopted that one. It's not totally traditional, like the way I was raised. I put a lot of twist and energy into it to spice things up, to make sure that my children are not bored and all that. So I adopted the traditional way, and then because it allows me to teach my children how to be respectful, how to be obedient, and how to listen to instruction. Also,
mm,
the Bible says, teach your child the way it should go. When he's grown, he shall not depart from it. I am of the opinion that so many problems we have in today's world is because people are moving away from the traditional way of training the children. I have seen
mm,
a lot of children being trained the traditional way. They come out super. Check the trend, check it out online, scientifically, spiritually, anyhow you want to roll or take it. Check out children raised the traditional way. Even though the traditional way, you know, um, we need to put a little bit of twist to it so you don't take the children back to 1850 when we are already in the 20, when the world is moving forward. You don't take them back, but you still adopt the things that are working in the traditional way to make sure that the children come out well. So I'm an ardent support of respect. When you wake up in the morning, you have to say good morning. Those are the traditional way. You can In my house, you can't even try it now. How can you walk past my dad without acknowledging him? And by saying good morning, daddy, my dad will be like, how was your night? And also it gives me opportunity to sit down with the children, to discuss
mhm,
went. We have like that tete-a-tete that make us close, that provide that family warmth and all that. So if you take away the traditional way of raising children, you take away all those things, then tell me what is left. I mean, what is left? How do you bond with the children? I decide to go the traditional way because it gives me opportunity. I bond with them. We talk, and the new style I adopted into the traditional way to make it not too traditional is making sure that the traditional children are not supposed to talk back when you talk. But I give my children the opportunity. We sit down and we dialogue. My kids will tell, we always have meetings. Oh yeah, sit down. What is your take on this? What do you think? I give them a voice, so when they get outside, they are not mute. They can have a voice. They can say how they feel, they share their opinions and make sure that
mhm.
thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sister Bimi. You next. Which parenting style did you adapt to? Which parenting style?
Yeah, thank you. So I am from a background where We are
Mm,
very, my mommy is, my sister will call my mom, um that she does things too much. I can't remember the word. I just lost the word that she always used. My mom would beat with a cane in her hand and a Bible in her hand, reading the Bible, praying, and beating at the same time. It was so strange to me,
mm,
you know. My mom would she would do all of those overzealous. Yes, that's the name. That's what my sister used. And guess what? We all turned
mm,
out good. We didn't like it. We felt our mommy was doing too much. But today
mm,
I pray for her 1 hour every day sometimes. I just pray over her because I saw that she did me well. If not for her, I would
mm,
by now I would have been cursing her. So that same approach. And my children, my
mm,
daughter sees me pray for my mom. And she asked me, why do you pray for your mom so much? I said, because she gave me Jesus. She gave me good life. And even though she didn't give me
mm,
money, those that she gave me brought money at the end of the day. So that's
mm,
why I'm grateful for it. And because I'm grateful for that, I can't give my children less. I'll be doing them a disservice if I don't train them well. Well, coming to United States, I thought, I don't know what I was thinking. I left my children to watch TV all day. I left them to be free. And I saw the repercussion in less than a year. So I took everything
mm,
away. I went back tried. My children greet me. I pray over them on their knees every day as they wake up, and I declare how their day will go, just the way my mother always do. And as they are walking out of the house, I bless them just the way my mother always do. Because it is only fools that doubt proofs. When there is a proof, you have to follow it. Anyone who doesn't follow the proof will pay
mm,
for it, will have to pay for it. So people who do not train their children the right way, people who are saying we're in America, we're in mother world, it's new, they are paying big for it. They are paying big.
mm.
So I'm never, ever, ever going to train my child the 21st century way. My life.
No. Sister Taiwo, now the table is on you. Which parenting style have you adapted to? Have you chosen? Which that? Are you at the old school or are you new school or are you in between? Where are you, sis? Where are you?
I'm very much in between, very much in between, because for everything that has an advantage, there's always a disadvantage. And
Mm-hmm.
I love the traditional way of bringing children up. Very important. I mean, that was how I was brought up. We're taught to love, to respect people. We're taught to take care of your neighbors. Just look out for the next person. Don't be
Mm-hmm.
selfish. All of those things very important, because once you get the opportunity to grow up with grandmas and grandpas, I mean, there are some things your parents will never do, but grandparents, they never fail to do it. They will pamper you, they will take care of you, but they will instill discipline in you. My grandma
Mm-hmm.
would tell me, when I call you, you don't say ma. When I say yes, when I ask you a question, you don't say it has to be beni ma, meaning yes ma. So you have to learn how to, I mean, you can't even sit where people are, where they have friends and all of that. You have to excuse yourself. You have to give the older ones privacy, which is very, I mean, it was a very good um training, you know, fairly good. But yeah, we can talk about the reason why I say I'm in between is because sometimes the way we were taught, at some point you instill fear in a child, and
Mm-hmm.
that way they lose confidence in themselves. And the way we reason can be so different. Some people, if you do a certain thing, they just go back in their shell and they're not able to really express themselves. They're not really able to just do things that ordinarily you can do without thinking too much. All of these things can
Mm-hmm.
affect you mentally, physically, emotionally. And I can say
Mm-hmm.
very well, except you have parents that are very, very so much in love with themselves that you can see that. That's when you can really understand what true love was then back in the days, because we're taught to, you know, daddy's here, mommy's here. So sometimes daddy's not even accessible self. It's just mommy.
Okay.
When you don't see that
Mhm.
closeness, you don't see that love, you don't see all of those things, you just think that's the normal way of life. But where the
Mhm.
new parenting style comes in is now you see parents are more involved, you know, with their
Yeah.
children. They want to hear them talk. No, you didn't have, I can't, it was rare that you would sit down with your parents back in the days and start to talk about things and just, oh, mommy or daddy or this. That's even if daddy's around. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
that's where the disadvantages will come in, because you don't have this person to sit down and talk with. You don't have um, the kind of closure that you so desire. And then you see
Mhm.
that this thing is actually not impossible. You come to with the modern world, and then you're like, "Ah, so this thing can actually happen." I remember when I first came to America, my auntie would look at us and say, you know, after talking, she said, "I love you so much." I'm like, "Love you, wow. How will you tell me I love you? What's the meaning of that?" Because I wasn't used to hearing that all my life. I'd never heard someone tell me I love you. I mean, my parents never heard them tell me, "Oh, I love you." It wasn't that they did not love you, but they can't say it. So now
It
coming
was
to the
involved.
message, and
Yeah.
then you hear someone. When my auntie told me I love her, I was like, she kept saying it. Me, I didn't say it back. I said, it's disrespectful. Don't say I love you. That's all those things. But then I gradually began to understand these are just regular words
Mhm.
that can bring closure to you and your children. They tell
Yeah.
you, "Mommy, I love you, mommy." They just trust you. They want to pour that love on you. You want to do the same. That's where the modern day
Mhm.
comes in. They can sit down with you and tell you, mom, they can tell you about what happened, at school. They can come back and tell you, "This is what I'm going through." And then you begin to bring, not neglecting the fact that the old parenting style, which brings about regard for people, selflessness, respect, and all of those
Mhm.
things. You're not throwing that aside. You're trying to fuse these two together to just build the kind of family that you desire, that you see, and that people will respect outside. So that's my view. I'm in between, not too traditional. So I agree with Sister Gbemi and Sister Biola. I know that Sister Biola said something like, yeah, with a twist and all of that. So yes, I'm just in between, because I'm learning from the new parenting style, and I'm taking from the one that I know, which is not even going anywhere, because that's what I have and that's what I have to give to my children. So I'll just funkify it a bit and make it happen.
You are so right. I agree with you, Sister Tawo, in the sense that I'm in the middle when it comes to parenting. Because for me, right, before my dad passed away a few months back, I would talk to my dad, right? And at the end of the conversation, as good as I am, I will be waiting to hear that word, "I love you." Like somewhere in me, it was missing. I wanted to feel that love. I wanted to feel that care. Even though, yes, I knew like my dad loved me. I knew that my mom loved me. But at one point I wanted to hear it. I wanted to hear it. It feels good. You when you hear your parents say, "I love you." For me, for us, we never got there. Like Sister Ty would say, we never got there. We just said, "Okay, mom loved me, dad loved me," but we never got that word. We never got the spoken word. And for me, it was really hard for me. It was really hard. So when I had my children, I decided to be in the middle, right? To be in the middle where I want to hear from you. I want for you to tell me how you feel. Okay, let's put this thing down. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about your feelings, how you feel, what you're going through, how your day is like. For me, going back home in Liberia, we didn't get that. Even if I was dying inside, I didn't tell my mom. Even if something bad happened to the school, we couldn't say a word to the parent because why? We were so afraid that, okay, we might get a spanking, we might get a whooping. So we were so afraid. That platform to share our thought, to share our feeling, to share our desire was never did. Not saying that they didn't love us, they did, but it was no room for expression. It was no room for us to say, Mom, I might not like jollof rice today. Maybe I want eba today. I would like to have eba. Don't try it too. I would like to have fufu. Don't try it. We just ate whatever it was given to us. So for me, I adapted both parenting style. I want my children to talk to me. I want them to be comfortable with me. I want them to come to tell me things that they are going through, no matter how it is, what it is. I want my children to be able to talk to me. So our next question gonna be, how has the way we live in America affect our parenting style? We will start with Sister Baby. How has it affect your parenting style living in America? Did it affect your parenting style in any way? Did it improve it in any way? What is your thought on that?
Thank
Yeah.
you. So, you know, the environment a child grows greatly affects how the outcome of that child. So, raising kids
Mm,
in America is a lot different from raising them in Nigeria. But here's the thing: my
mm,
children were already, I mean, so they were a little. They already have. Let me put it this way: they already have a feel of Africa before we came in here.
mm,
So it was a lot easier.
okay.
They already have a landing, they already
Mm,
have a pedestrian where we were taking off from.
mm,
So
mm,
yeah, it was at some point because they go to school. The school tells them differently. You can't. Um, I'm traditional, but I don't believe in spanking children. I believe in dialogue. I told you my traditional is with a twist. So we
mhm,
you know um we talk. Living in America is different because
mm,
in school they are not allowed. Even the way they do them in school is different. They don't whoop them in
mm.
school. Back in Africa, they whip children in school. They spank.
Yeah.
The teacher have the right to punish,
Mm,
and all that. But here is different. So
mhm,
when I had to deal with all the new things and the traditional way, I decided to put a twist in it. And what twist did I do? I reduced the number of hours I had to work. Even though I didn't have so much money, I couldn't get all the beautiful clothes I wanted, but it was a huge sacrifice for me. Because in
mm,
of that punishment, that tent training that you have to give to children that put them in their place and make them always rethink before they do anything, you know,
mhm,
walk the journey of life with the children I have. And the sacrifice I made, I didn't drop my career in totality. I was still working, but I was so
mm,
very involved in their life in the sense that I drop them in school in the morning, we talk. They come back home. I get back home from work. I do their homeworks with them. I ask them how their day went, the things they went through in school and all that. I go for their physical with them. Decided to start working the journey. I'm close to their teachers. I go to the school to check their progress and all that. The teachers are accessible to me. And if there's anything, they can always call me. I am just a phone call away. So in place of that 10 trainings, 10 traditional way, I made
mhm,
sure I was 150% present in their journey, in their life journey, how everything is going. I i i do not even encourage them to eat junk food. I take out my time, and children learn from what they see, rather more even
mhm,
tell them. So all those things I want them to do, I practice them right in front of them. So it was a lot easier for my children to take a cue from what I already exhibit. We talk, we dialogue, we are a family. If anything happens, if you ask my children, the first thing that comes to their mind is, can I talk to my mom? You know, we
mm.
have that
That's good.
We build that relationship. They know I will root for them 250%. I will choose them over and over, I will make out time for them. They know that I am interested
Mm.
in everything that has to do with them. Without me,
That is so good.
and because of the love that we share, when I talk to them, they listen. Also, I read Bible verses to them, to let them know how to grow and all that. And I also teach them, I give them religion. Even though I give them a free hand to choose what they want. But I mean, but the things I practice right in front of them, they see that it's working in my own life. So they decide
Mm-hmm.
to adopt, even though they have a modern way of doing their own thing, keep, all those technology and all that, they teach me.
Mm-hmm.
But the things, the morals, everything, all those other things a child needs, and most especially, I will tell everyone today, it is not money, not even too much love, but availability. When you are there, always available for the children, there's literally nothing you tell them they won't listen to you. If you give them time and attention, they
That is so right.
and
You know what, sis?
mhm,
You are, some of the stuff that you said is really right, making that time for the kids and all that, good stuff. It's very, very important, putting our kids first when we choosing the parental style and the way we want our children to be raised. So you are right on point. We are right on point. We're gonna move over to Sister Bimi. Sis, how has America, influenced interfere with your parenting style? Like America, being in America. I know that you are like me. We have our children here. How has it affected your parenting style being in America?
Yeah, thank you. America has really affected my parenting style, which
Mm,
it's sometimes I have to sit back and look from a 360 degrees to see what
mm,
it is. When I take my children out, I get feedback from people. When I get the feedback, I check. It's people that actually see whatever work you've done inside. When you take your
mhm,
children outside, that's when you know if you've done well or you've not done well.
mm,
So when I got to America, I left my children to watch TV, to just be. I was working. I would work. I thought, we're in America. Oh, there's light, there's internet. But one thing that made me regress and went back, America gave us lights, gave us luxury, gave us freedom, gave us, you see white people, the way they treat their children. You know that if you don't treat your children that way, your children are not going to be able to mingle in the society, in this society,
mhm,
because they're not going to be confident enough when they see people dot over their children, wrap themselves around their children, and here you are, you can't even wrap around your children because you're traditional. So when I came in, I saw all of that. So I said to I was like, okay, when in America, I'll be fine. So I let it be. But then I thought I
mm,
wasn't doing a good job. So my son wasn't talking. He could not talk because he watched too much TV. So he wouldn't talk. He could not do anything. He was mute for 3.5 years. So I knew I wasn't doing a good job. I had to quit my job for a year to stay
mm,
home with my children, to do everything with them. I read a book that made me know that you give the children half the money and give them double the attention. That's how you have progress. So I gave them half the money by not really having money to
mm,
get by. But I gave them the attention that they needed. I pray over them. I write with them. I talk to them. I take them to park, take them to church, every service, and I show them. I always tell them story about my life as well, which ensures that they are traditional. Even though we're in America, the both
mm,
of us says that we are in this world, but we're not of this world. I like what
mm,
Sister Taiwo said the other time, that when, she talks to her children. Even though my mom was traditional, she still talked to us. Till today, she's my best friend. My husband competes with her. So because she would talk to us, she would make us know reason why she
Mm.
spanked us. She wasn't those women who would curse their children and beat them. So I can never in any way curse my children, even though I'm traditional. I can never in any way beat my children and they don't know why you're beating them out of annoyance. No. So all of this is what I have done. Even though America has affected it, has not made me, I can't, beat my children in public. I can't scold them in public. And I've seen my son actually, he scattered the store before, and I wanted to beat him. He scattered the store. He opened the boxes of toys. I started playing with it. Toys I can never even buy because I don't buy toys. They know mommy don't buy toys. Daddy buy toys with his money. So they know I wasn't gonna buy toys,
I
and he
like
broke
that.
That you might.
and it broke everything in the store. And look at what he told me. When I was coming to him, the store manager was reporting him. He said, beat me here, beat me here, beat me here. Don't beat me at home. Because he knew that if he's here, I will not beat him. I will not talk. I will only be like, oh, I love you. Don't do that. Don't do that. But when we get home, he's going to explain to me why he did that. And he's going to apologize and he's never going to do it again. I'm not of the style where people will scream on child and be, what are you doing? I don't have that energy. I would do the average energy I have, but the word of God is my backing. Like I said, the word of God says that in the chest of a child there is madness, core madness. And the only thing that brings out that madness is some whooping. Thank you.
Mm.
That's a good answer.
Sister Tawo, have America affected you? Has the United States of America affected you, Jared?
Like I used to tell my husband, I said, you pass through America, America will pass through you.
Mhm.
That's a fair bargain.
Woo! I like that again. Repeat that again.
America and America will pass through you. But while you're
Okay.
passing through, you grab some things and you leave some things. You have to learn some things, you have
Mm,
to learn some things. It is a very beautiful experience coming here, no doubt. No
mm,
doubt. There's some sort of paradigm shift. Your mentality, everything, your confidence,
mm,
everything just happens. And you see possibilities, you see things happening. You are excited. You're like, this thing that I thought I could not do, I can do them
mm,
easily here. Those are the things that will make you fall in love with where you are. However,
mm,
the Bible says, spare the rod and spoil the child.
mhm,
Discipline is quite different from abuse. I have seen
mhm, mhm,
white, black, blue, orange, whatever color, discipline their children in the store.
mhm,
When you do that to a child, when you abuse a child, it is very different from when you discipline them.
mhm.
I was making a joke with, I think, Sister Gbemi. We used to have a teacher back then, lesson teacher back then. That man was not a disciplinarian. That man was abusing us, no doubt. No doubt. That man was because that man will beat even daylight out of your system. One plus one, just don't try and say two. The world will come to an end in a flash. Phew, for that person. So that one was abused because we eventually we didn't learn anything because we're always scared. When he comes with his cane, we just shut down mentally, physically, emotionally. We shut down.
Mm.
That's when
You
you need to
understand?
discipline.
Since you are so right, for me, having my first child at the age of 16 and being so young, right? I basically grew up with my first son, right? So it's like America was like, at some point, it was like buddy buddy. It's like I feel like he's like my little brother at some point, and we clash heads. We surely do because in a, but still, America affected the way that he got a lot of freedom. My oldest one, he got a lot of freedom because I was young, in a sense. I didn't really know much about parenting and I did a lot of whooping. Jesus Christ, have mercy. He got every every discipline you can think about from Africa. Name it, name it. Every discipline you want to think about. The pushing the wall, the claim, everything. I think I overdid it, but my fear was that my biggest fear was I didn't want my son to be in the streets. I didn't want my son to adapt to the American way. I didn't want that because the
Call it
partner
American
our
way?
way at that time. Uh,
Would you call it American way?
the in a sense that what the kids, the young boys, when they get a certain age, they want to do their own thing. They want
It's
to go
everywhere.
out there and they
It's
want to
everywhere.
just be free.
It's everywhere. It's not
Every
restricted to
yes,
America.
yeah, but in Africa there's limits because you get your head knocked inside. It's things that you cannot just do in Africa, right? Even at the age of 25, 26, it's some things you just can't do. You know that no matter how old you are and your age, you just can't do it. But in America, yeah, we see 15-year-old boy on the street selling drugs. We see all these things. So my fear was I didn't want my son to be like that. So I think that being in America make me to whoop him a lot. That was my thing. I did a lot of whooping. I did a lot of beating. It was just I think I over at one point I really think like I overdid it because of the fact that I didn't want him to take the wrong path. I was very at one point I was very over the parenting at one point because I didn't want him to go that path. So America did the America traumatized. You can say traumatized me in the sense that I over disciplined my oldest child. Oh, I overdid it. And now
Another
looking back, huh?
sorry,
Tower.
sorry. No, I'm just saying that another thing is I believe that America is not saying you should not discipline your child. They're just trying to, I think the law is just trying to set a standard. Again,
Yes,
we
yes.
overdo it. I'm telling you, I know what I went through. It was not only discipline, it was good. But at some point, I think it was too much of a, you know, you can say abuse from those from the likes of our teachers back then. But it's just trying to
It
balance.
was.
I know that people always discipline their
Mhm.
children here. People always ensure that they, make sure that they do the very best, because how do you want your child to go out there and represent you? So whatever attitude, whatever
Yes,
that child displays out there is a reflection of who you are. So you don't want that stain on
that
you.
was my fear.
My child has to be the very best. And there are ways you can do, even with love. Sometimes you don't even have to spank a child or hit a child, and they will get it right. Some people will tell, like my father, I never had any, I don't have any memory of him hitting me. No, he never did. Even my, I can say maybe once or twice. But you see, the community that want to help you raise the children, they are the ones that have the most job. They are the ones that will be.
You are right too. You are right too. So so for me, I was very young, right? Imagine me having a child at that very young age, now ready mature, right? As a woman, now mature years. So I thought, okay, everything that I was raised from back home, when I came to America, I was like, oh my God, I don't want this child to be like this, be like this. So I think at one point I overdid it with my parenting with my oldest child. I overdid it. Now my second child is a lot different. Even my oldest son will tell you, he will be like, "Oh my God, Isaac can get away with murder," in the sense that I he tells me all the time, Isaac, oh my God, oh my God, Isaac can get away with everything. It's not like he get away with stuff. I'm at the point that is where my middle, me being in the middle, come in. Like I do a praying, I pray for them, I discipline them, but I also talk to them. So it's like little bit of everything as a mother, little bit of counselor, little bit of teacher, little bit of everything. So I mean, just the teacher called me, I will whoop him. The school called me, I will whoop him. If he go outside, he misbehaved, he was getting some type of whooping because of that fear. It was always some type of whooping. It was always some type of whooping that he was hard headed too. he was ready. He didn't listen to. So it's like, okay, you give it to me, I will give it back to you. So it's like,
So
so that was the
there's
thing.
something I want to say.
Mm,
I think as much as the environment it really influences the outcome of that. But do you know also, no matter how much it takes, I really don't know how to or what to play. It depends on
mhm,
the individual, that child, no matter how little or big they are, to adapt to the teachings you've given them. Because
mhm,
seeing two children, okay, let's take me for example. Growing up, I was a real challenge for my dad in the sense that I always have an idea. I always have an opinion. If their dad says, okay, let's do something this way. Usually in Africa, you don't even talk back. I'm going to ask my dad, why are we doing this? I have
mm,
I have an idea of how I think, even though I was young, and for the most part, I was always wrong. But I have an idea of how I want to do things. Some other children would just like my brother would like my oldest brother. I've never seen somebody as obedient because he got the most whooping from the house. From from my mom and my dad. He adapt, but me, I have another opinion. And my dad,
mm,
thinking about it now, because of all the love he has and all that, he wants to listen. And because my mom
mm,
passed very, my mom died at a very, very my mom. So
mm,
yes, it was just us and myself for my mother. So my dad has a lot of compassion for us, for whatever. So he will give you audience. I always have
mm.
opinion. Then, somehow he will just allow me to that. When I
To see your mind.
come, when
Yes,
I come back. So I allow my children as well. If I tell them, I don't believe in whooping too much because
I do.
my dad tries.
I'm still whooping.
No, my dad tries
I'm
to
a full believer in whooping.
my dad tries to whoop me. Whooping doesn't, it hurts me, but it doesn't change my mind. I'm telling you. I'm telling you in real life thing now. Whooping doesn't, it even hardens my heart. That thing,
Mm,
I'm telling you, as growing up, as a grown-up woman, I told my dad that the whooping is even the one that destroyed the whole whooping. I'm
he said whooping spoiled the whole thing.
it was the whole thing.
Whooping may endure
It
for a
was
night.
the whole thing. Again, listen to
But but
let
John come in the morning.
Tell you.
what works for me is give me audience. Let us talk. Let us rub minds together. Okay, what's why? Eventually, when my dad started to listen to me, he got the best out of me. For no, he doesn't even have to do much. He can trust me, eyes closed, everything. He can, he will tell me and I will listen. Eventually, children are not the same. I am never in support of whooping. I will not even be in support of whooping. My own whooping,
Amen.
he never was
That's true.
that.
I also want to just add to what Sister Bella just said. That's the truth. Like hitting children, sometimes it just makes them retract. They don't
Did you
have this.
just say? Did you say eating?
Don't
Now
worry,
I have a problem with that word hitting.
don't worry.
Yes,
We understand what
yes.
that.
It's whooping.
Oh yeah,
It's whooping.
padding, padding.
Yes.
you know, you know what this thing does is, if you're able to communicate well with your child, if you're able to sit down, talk one on one, like Sister Biola said, have proper relationship with them. I'm telling you, you bring out the best in your child. You bring out the very best. They begin to share ideas with you. Begin to help them sift out the right ones, the wrong ones, and they know they can come to you, trust you,
Yeah.
because they know you give them solid advice on the next step to take. So it really helps when you have a relate. That's where I like the modern day parenting, because it gives you time to sit and talk with your child. It gives you time
Mm,
to see from the eye of your child and say, okay, they might be, we will be going through a lot back then, but you can't say it out simply because you're scared that mommy or daddy will, even if mommy or daddy, aside from that, mommy will now tell uncle will now tell this, and the whole world now know your business. You understand? So you're not, there's no secret anywhere. And you can't blame them. See, what you don't have, you cannot give. If they were giving that kind of lifestyle or that kind of parenting, that's what they will give to their children. So the fact that you come to another side, sometimes people find it
Mm.
very difficult when they come from back home to, Western countries. It becomes a little bit difficult to adapt because this is what you are used to.
Mhm.
And then the system here is telling you,
Mhm.
your idea, we are not buying it here. And then there's a problem.
Mm.
So how do you balance it? Some people catch up very fast. Some people don't catch up at all. And this thing can go as
Yes.
even ruining marriages. It can do a lot of things to people. So when you find
True.
yourself in an environment where things are done differently, understand why they are doing it differently. Try to balance it out with what you know, and just form a baseline where you say, this is how I think it will work for me better. I can compromise here. This is where it works well for me. So I just wanted to quickly put that in.
Yes. But the thing is, so as a parent, we're going to start with Sister Bemi. As a parent, where do you think you fail as a parent raising a young child? Where do you think I won't say fail or challenge. The word is challenge, because as a parent, I don't think we fail, or like your challenges.
Um, if I always look, like I said when I started, I always look back to see what I've done and what I've not done. So when I take my children house, people give me feedback. Oh, that child actually knelt down and greeted. Oh, the house was dirty, and that child just picked broom and quickly grabbed it and picked everywhere. Oh, can you imagine? A child was crying. Your child went and grabbed that child and was already feeding that child. Oh,
Mm.
you know, those responsibility, the love, the compassion, I see that is good. So I know I was doing well. Everybody wants
Mm.
to see, they want to hear me how, baby, how do you raise your child? But the other parts that I see that I may not be doing so much well is where I was raised to not allow when my mommy is talking, you don't look at her face. Because
Mm.
when you look at her face, and as a child, you can be looking and be looking and be rolling your eyes and be rolling your eyes so bad that you before even you I mean I'm not sure she even tell us with words, because if you look too much, you have like two slaps back back.
Yeah.
So you don't even want to mistakenly allow your eyes to roll anyhow. So when I started training my children, when they are talking to me, especially when you're doing something wrong and you come and you're talking to me and you are looking at me, I'm like, close that eyes. If you look down when I'm talking to you. So I saw that that was good, because in one way whereby my child cannot be rude to anybody. It's impossible. I mean, when she actually sees people that are rude outside, she come home to analyze those people. Like, imagine this
Mm.
child rolled eyes on the teacher. This child actually talk trash on the teacher, and she can't even stand it. She will actually be talking to that person. Can you shut up? That's how bad she can stand that. So I knew I did a good job. But then I saw
Mm.
that um sh- I discovered that like 3 years ago, that when she's talking with other people outside, when other
Mm.
children are talking and talking and just giving all the peace of their mind, which sometimes is too much liberty, is trouble. So
Mhm.
she wouldn't do that. So I was
Mm.
wondering, was that a problem? So after then, I don't emphasize, don't look at my face. So sometimes I just put her face up, look at me. Okay, what are we talking about? All right.
Mm.
So now I see her go outside and talk and look at people's face, because I also learned in one book. Even me, I don't look at men's face. When I'm talking to a man, I don't look at their face, until I read from a book that says that when you don't look at people's face, you become their subject automatically. But when you look
Mm.
at people's face, you intimidate them immediately. So I started learning myself to look at people's face. Because of that, I immediately tracked it back to my daughter and ensure that when she's talking, she's looking at your face so that she doesn't get intimidated. She doesn't become your subject because I'm raising leaders. So that would be the only part.
Thank you so much, Sister Viola. What is that one struggle, or what is that? If you look back, when you look back, what is that thing that wish you could change as a mom?
Yeah, thank you. So, children go through things in life from 0 to I think about 8 or thereabouts. It's one. Then when they become teenagers, it's another phase. When they become young adults, it's another phase, and each phase has its own.
Mm-hmm.
0 to like 10, thereabout. They listen when they become
Mm-hmm.
listen to their friends. And when they are now young adults, they begin to exercise what they've learned to be themselves, want to have their own voice at that age.
Mm-hmm.
My children, so the challenge I have is actually with my son. Yeah, because it's actually with my son, you know. So that happened because um my son's dad, my my husband was not always son. My
Your line is breaking, Sister
dad,
Biola.
can you
Yeah.
Yeah,
listen?
your line is breaking. We can hardly hear you, Sister Biola.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so the challenge I have, I didn't have too much challenge with my daughter. Because girls are always busy. The most one I had was my son. Because
Mm.
many friends always want a they want a father that can be a role model
Our
from
phone is
experience.
breaking so bad.
And my husband is not really. I think
Sister Vera, your phone is breaking really bad.
Your phone or maybe your laptop, I don't know. We kind of we hardly you're just going in and out.
can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Yes. That we hear you, but once
it's
you start
breaking out really bad.
going in and out.
Okay, so I said it was easy with the girl from age 0. How is it now?
We'll manage. I think we
Yeah,
should
much
manage.
better.
Yeah, we'll manage.
Yeah, but with my son, it's a little different because he needed a father around him. He wanted a father figure, somebody he could relate with. I think the parents' upbringing also affect the children because growing up in my house, I have a very close relationship. Matter of fact, I can back my dad backs me, so I'm already used to that father daughter, father
It's really
son.
bad.
But it's different for my husband. I think he had a different kind of upbringing, so he's not
Mm.
really into children the way I am.
Tao, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. I can hear her too.
Tao.
Yeah, I can hear. Well,
So
I
my
hear you.
son was always feeling left out. He was always feeling left out for a very long time, and it began to affect how he sees himself. You know, even
Mm.
though growing up we were taught not to look at people's faces, but I already know for you for people not to look down on you, you need to look into their faces when you talk. So I noticed that my son wasn't really, it was a lot of challenge for me to act like even to act his mother and his father at the same time. Then I now had to call my daughter, we sit together to help him out of that thing. Then he now started to trust me and started to tell me that why, this is this way was because he's not close to the dad. So, I mean, the challenge I have was, raising a male child. I didn't have any.
Yeah. Listen, I can relate to that. I have to. Well, we'll move to Sister Tower. Sister Tower, what is your
Most
your
of
your little
in
speed
all
bump?
this, if a male, even as a male child growing up from age 0 to like 12, all that, by default, they are fractured to listen to the parents. But if the parents are not now available, that is where the problem comes in. You know, all those
Mm.
learn from, watch and learn, and they miss out all that. That's where you have the real issue, the real problem.
The issues.
Yeah.
That's a topic for FGI Cash Talk. Impact of parenting being in a child life.
Right.
That's a topic right there.
So they are not
Sister Tower, what's your bump in the road? As a
Well,
mother raising four beautiful girls, what is your little bump in the road?
well, for me, you know, again, I didn't have a particular template on this is how it should be, especially when you have all girls. I'm like, is this, but I know that there are certain things that you have to do. And so I can't really call it challenge. I'm still in the process because every day I try to learn to understand. The only challenge I have is they are always putting me one side. Daddies and their daughters. It's a problem. So they are more with daddy. It's more
Sorry.
of
Mm.
it's more of daddy. I mean, my children have told me, "Mommy, you can go out. Don't worry, we'll stay with daddy. Daddy's fine. Don't worry, you just go." I'm like, "Oh my god." So are you people taking me out of the picture? It's just like it's just me. But I it's okay, yeah, to have that relationship with your children. I mean, I'm excited right now. They're out somewhere skating, they're having fun. I'm very okay with that. And but if you talk about challenge, I am yet to face that. Bringing them up, right from birth and all of that. Maybe the little challenges that we have here and there, trying to, get help and all of that. But so far, it's been a good one, and I'm just waiting for that next phase now because my older one now very soon should be a teenager. I heard that there's another level to that phase. So I'm I'm waiting for. So far, this first stage, we've been able to manage it well. So I wouldn't really say I've had any challenges specific. It's just not way out of control. It's just something that we're able to manage and just apply day to day common sense and try to make sure that everything goes well. So I wouldn't really call it a challenge. It's just still a journey in process. So
Yes. My challenge is dealing with kids. My two children, they are about 10. I was almost 10 years apart. It's a challenge. Because sometimes I feel like I'm bipolar in the sense that yeah, I'm serious. I feel like I'm bipolar because I have to on one ear. I'm thinking and trying to reason with a 19-year-old. Then the next minute, I have to drop down to the 10-year-old and begin to understand from a 10 level point of view. Right? So it's a challenge as a mother is really is the challenge because you're trying to give both children your best, right? When you have children that is really far apart and you are trying to give both of them your 100% you, but it become a challenge because you cannot because you have to switch mind. I feel like I'm switching from Facebook to TikTok. You know, I have to I have to go to Facebook, then switch back to TikTok. Then when it on the disciplinary, it's different discipline with the two age, right? So my 19-year-old, I can't whoop his behind. So now it's all talking, right? Because the stage of whooping, I think I did over whooping, like I said. So I don't do the whooping with him now. But then he want me to whoop the little one because he feel like the little one is not getting enough for discipline. So it's a challenge dealing with two kids at almost 10 years apart. It's really is a challenge, mentally exhausting. It is, every single day. I know someone out there, you probably have your children 5 years apart, 6 years apart, 10 years apart. It's mentally challenging. Okay, it's not an easy. It is not a walk down down apart. When you have children back to back, what they're almost in the within the same age group, right? So you are on the same level. 1 year apart, 2 years apart, 3 years apart, 4 years apart, you are still on the same level. When you start to hit a decade apart, you're beginning to enter into a madness society. You're beginning to enter into enter into another world, and that's what I find myself in right now. I'm balancing two different a decade difference between my children. And I don't know, Sister Biora, with your children, how far apart are they?
Oh, so they are just a little less than 2 years apart.
So you
Oh,
are in the same group, Sister Bimi.
Yes.
Are they far apart too?
my children are 5 years apart.
So
Wow.
you less than 10 years. But with the training, how is it like for you with the training?
I would say that my second son, because it was quite hard because he's beginning, he's 5 currently, but he didn't talk before until almost 4 years old. So there wasn't really any training to do. We were just begging God and trusting and working hard for him to be okay. So now that he's fully fine, he was healed of autism. So
Mhm.
now I'm trying to train him the right way, but the joy of it is that my daughter is helping out because she knows what is wrong. She could say, "Oh, Lola did this. Oh, that's so bad." So I know already because I trained her, so she's passing the training down to her brother. And that's the same thing my mom did with us. She straightened our firstborn. So once our firstborn was straightened, everybody fell in line. Even on a normal day, even though I'm the second, I'm always, I have opinion, I want to do stuff, I question everything questionable, you know. But I know that when I see my sister, she's just saying, "Shut up, don't talk, or mommy will slap you, or don't shake it." So it was helping me to still cope. Imagine if she was bad, it would be bad. So my daughter is really helping her. I wouldn't say it's a challenge for me, it's actually a blessing because she's helping him even to navigate things. Sometimes I'm explaining something to him, my daughter will just pull him apart and just talk to him. See, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do. So it's a blessing to me, I would say.
Okay. Sister Tawa, I know the kids how you how's the age range?
2 years, 2 years, 3 years, and maybe four now. So there's two, the
Yeah, so
fourth.
it's still within the same on the
Yeah,
5 years. It's
yeah.
still within the 5 years. It's a lot when you hitting that 10 year gap. It's really
It's
it's a whole huh?
yeah. I said it's really. I mean, it's a lot. Just when you think that you're done with having children, and then one time
Yeah, and my second, he popped in the picture. Even though, yeah, like Sister Bemi said, right? My oldest son does he will put the younger one aside, be like, mom gonna smack you. You know that mom gonna do this, mom gonna do that. Oh, she gonna give it to you. Then he also complete, oh my God, mom, you're not disciplining he enough. You need to do this. You need to do this. So it's like he's in a way, right? He feel like he wanna be the parent. So I'm like, no, you're not even trained yet. I'm still training you.
he paid the price already.
Yes, I'm still treating you, and now you want to treat my son. I'm the mom. I'm, I'm the mom here. You're not the dad. He got a dad. So it's like you said, it's a blessing also, but it's very mentally it's draining because you gotta go. It's like you're going up and down because you got to understand the level from a 10-year-old. You got to come down to understand and be able to talk on a 10-year-old level. Then you got to go up to the 19-year-old and talk on that 19-year, 20, almost going on 20-year grown up thing, right? So I'm talking grown up conversation. Then I have to switch my mind to remember that men know that you can't say the same thing that you are saying with the almost 20-year-old with a 10-year-old. You got to switch the mind. So it's become a very challenging. So that's what I'm going to at this present moment. So Parenting style is great. What we choose as a mother, to raise our children in a home, be it the 100% of back then, be it in the middle, whatever we are doing, let us do it to the fullest. Whatever we are installing to the children, let us do it to the fullest. Like Sister Bammy said, and Sister Vera said, let us put a little twist to it. Don't just be 100% back there. Let the kids have room to communicate. Let them have room to talk. So as we wind down, we're gonna go around the table. To the parent that is watching, to a parent that might watch this video, what that one lesson you would try to, from your own experience, right? And one advice you would like to give to a parent that is watching you right now? What is that one advice from your own personal experience, Sister Bira? What is that one advice you would like to give to a parent that is watching right now?
Yeah, thank you to all parents out there. I'm going to give you a tested and trusted
Hmm.
example.
Mm, mm,
So,
Hmm.
uh-huh.
I'm
This-
listening.
time and
I'm
attention
listening. Yeah.
to the children, it's 100%. It works like magic. A child that's giving attention.
Mm,
Yes, you don't even have to flog. You don't have to scream. Even though I scream, everybody knows I have a loud. But then it's not required. By the time you build that relationship, because children watch you, they learn more from
mhm.
what you tell them. So make sure you are giving them that attention. Have time for them. There still be enough to run after money. So while they are growing up from that 0 to 12, make sure you give them all the attention, the love they require. So what they already have, that's what they exhibit out there. Thank
Thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much. So, parent, you watching, give your children attention, attention, attention. We're gonna go down the system, baby. What is that? What is that thing you have tested and tried, and it came to, you know that it can work. It can work. What is that one advice you give to a new mom that is in the game, new to the game, someone that is middle in the game? What is that one experience you have tested and you know that it work?
Yeah, with I will add to what Sister Biola said, right? Attention, I didn't give it, I had to pay for it for another 2 years of
Mm,
life. So if you don't give attention, you're gonna pay for that attention. So give that attention.
mm,
Apart from after giving the attention that she said, give them God. That's
mm,
what they children need. God. They need to know that there's somebody higher than you. When you're not there, somebody is there seeing what they are doing because you'll not be there all the time. So give them God. I pray over my children every morning. They are kneeling down. I pray over them. Like I pour my heart into them. I speak the future now that I want to see. Even though things may happen in the world, I had already shaped it by the word of God. Give them God, take them to church. They need a church community. Take them to church, give them God. Be spiritual. If you don't know God because of your children. If not, you will pay through your nose. Thank you.
Thank you. Give God children. Give children God. Teach them about God. Teach them about God. It's very, very important. Let us instill that in our children. It's very important for us to teach our young one about the things of God, the ways of God, the laws of God, how to love God, to be obedient to God. Don't do it. Don't steal, don't lie, don't kill, don't fornicate, don't commit adultery. Teach the children the ways of God. Teach the children that men supposed to be with a woman, woman with a man. Teach them from the beginning. Tell them the word of God. Tell them, do your part. I tell people, do your part. And when they grow and they go away from it, you know within yourself, as a mother, you have done all that you could do, all that you could say. You have said it. All that you could do, you have done it. Praise the Lord. That's good. Now you
Amen.
bringing the pastor out of me. You know, Pastor, we don't leave our bad ways behind. Praise the Lord. You know, we have to bring it in. It's just a
Hallelujah.
pastor thing. Yes. So Sister Taiwo, I know the girls are still, you know, in the making, preparing to get to stage two. But what in the past 10 years, what have you tried? What have you tested? And you know that it work that you want to give to a new mom, a middle mom, or someone who just want to be educated about parenting style. What would you like to say to
One, I agree with Sister Biola.
them?
Have to talk, communicate with the children. Two, God, you can take that out. The God factor
Mm,
remain. Like Sister Bimi said, it must remain. It's still the Bible. The Bible is still our guide. It says, train up a child in the way of the Lord. The laws are very easy, they're very simple. It's just that we always come up with a different law than that just that will take
mm,
us on another journey that we don't have any business going
mm,
through in the first place. And then thirdly, look at yourself
mm,
and say, would I be so glad that my child will turn out to be me?
mm,
If that is a yes, then you know that, of course, you are there to instill values and everything that you know in your child. But if again you look at yourself and say, ha, this that I have gone through, this child must not go through, you have extra work to do.
mm,
So you have to be there to always talk to your child. Like my oldest daughter, when we get back from school, sometimes I just sit in the car with her. We just talk because now I know she will understand what I'm saying better. The 5-year old will still be there doing mommy, mommy. The 8-year old, she's smart. But you see, the 10-year old, you got to start talking right now.
mm,
And that's what was shaping their mind. I mean, I'm sorry, let me just chip this in. When she was in maybe grade 3, I got a call from school and they told me, oh, your daughter did something. I was like, okay, what has she done? They said she saw a boy, like her classmate, and the guy was all by himself. Nobody wanted to play with him. And then she went there and said, don't worry, I'll play with you. And she held the boy and started playing. So I got a call and I was scared. He said, don't worry, it's nothing bad. We just wanted to give this positive referral, there's a way they call it, just to let you know that, yeah, that your child did this. Of course, I was
mm.
proud as a mother. I was laughing from smiling from ear to ear. I was excited.
Oh,
That's good news that you hear. So if you are excited about who you are, the values that you represent, are you willing to have your child enjoy what you have? Are you willing to ensure that they, display some qualities that will be relevant to them? Because now you're not only thinking about yourself, you're thinking that because at a point in time, you won't be there anymore. They will be there and they will carry on the legacy, whatever you give them. So I cannot specifically say this is a challenge or this is what I want to tell someone to do because I'm still in that phase. I'm still there. But I can say that if you look well at yourself and you say, am I okay with who I am? Evaluate yourself. Is it okay for my child to become the kind of person that I am? If your answer is yes, good. If your answer is no, then work on who you want your child to be, or who their personality would be. So I
mm,
yield.
well, that is beautiful. Looking at yourself in the mirror. That is really, really beautiful. To our lady, the response was just so perfect on point. I hope that someone will watch this broadcast today and learn something from it. Looking at yourself in the mirror as a parent, we don't do that. Parent, we want to discipline the kid, we want to discipline, but we don't look at the things that we are doing as a parent. We don't take the time to look at our own behavior, to look at the things, the words that come out of our mouth, the way we treat other people, all these things. Let us take the time to reflect on us, because what our behavior also teaches our children indirectly. So all you ladies, your yes, yes,
I
yes,
wanted I wanted to just add that,
yeah.
be like you said. like you said, that you should look at yourself. I just wanted to strike the word, be a role model indeed.
Exactly.
Because
Yes.
if you're lying to somebody, hello, where are you? Oh, I'm on my way, and you are still cooking jollof rice. The children already know. Tomorrow they will lie.
I'm on my
There are
way.
situations where
You,
I was at the barber shop. I wanted to lie. I didn't want to tell that person what happened because they were like, "Who cut this baby's hair?" I didn't want to say anything. But because I know my children are there, as an adult, sometimes you know how to just curb words and be like, "Oh, don't worry, somebody did it." But the child is there, they are watching. So I had to tell them, "Oh, the father did." And they abused me very well. Why would you allow the man? But I intentionally allowed them because I know my children are there. They are watching. They are watching. If I'm on the call, if I lie, they know. My daughter would tell me, "Mommy, you
Ah,
are so truthful. You are so plain. You are so intentional." She would just be saying stuff. But I mean, I do it intentionally. It's not because I cannot lie. It's not because I cannot be corny. It's not but because I know they are watching and they are
mm.
learning.
So let us look at ourselves in the mirror, be that role model. Search yourself. Search yourself daily. Take a step back, look at the things that you are doing. For me, I agree with 100% all you ladies. My advice to the whole world is everything you beautiful ladies have said. I just put a top in on top of it. I just put a kick on top of it. It's very beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be back for part two of this discussion. We will be back in 2 weeks for parenting style then and now. We will be talking about other things, so you don't want to miss out on the next section. Please set your alarm clocks. Get ready to tune in. If you have not followed FGI Cash Talk page, we saying right now, go like the page, follow the page, stay tuned for more of FGR Cash Talk. Please support FGR Cash Talk. Help us to bring out these good things to people. People want to know, people want to hear the truth. So please help us grow FGR Cash Talk page. Thank you so much for spending time with us, for hanging out with us. I know there was a request about a male joining us. We are working on it. We are working on it, and by the grace of God, there will be a meal with us pretty soon. So please keep us in your prayer. Have a blessed day. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye, ladies.
bye.
Oh,
Bye bye, beautiful people. 1, 2, 3.